All right. Hello, everyone. I believe we are officially live. If you guys can go ahead and say hello in the chat, let me know your name, where you're tuning in from, or what kind of business you run. That would be awesome. And then you guys can also let me know that you can for sure see me and also hear me. In fact, I'm just going to move my microphone here for a sec. So if you guys can confirm that you can see and hear me, that would be awesome before I get started. Who's here? Veronica, Elizabeth, Todd, Paul, Purnima, hello, Wendy, Sarah from Italy, wow, Natalie, awesome. Thank you guys so much for showing up today. I have not done a live in a long time. So I'm very excited, and I'm super excited to share with you guys this new training that I've put together, and specifically my Simplified Sales Strategy. So just a few little housekeeping things. Obviously, the chat is live below this video. Some people may be watching on YouTube. There's a chat on either side of the video, so go ahead and participate there. My assistant Hannah is in the room with us. She's managing the chat, so if you have any questions at all as we progress, whether about technical things like not hearing or seeing the video, she'll be there to help you with that. But also, if you have any questions about Instagram, about my strategy, about the things that I teach you today, please put them in the chat. She's going to collect those questions, and then at the end, I'm going to do a Q&A. So if you want your questions answered, definitely stay till the end. And the chat is giving some people some weird names. It might be anonymous 123 or whatever. So if you can just let us know your name when you ask a question, then we can obviously address you by name later on. So with that out of the way, I think that kind of sums everything up. I'm just making sure we're all good to go here. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and switch over to my slides, and we're going to get started. So, and I obviously should probably introduce myself. I am Alex Tooby, Instagram and online business strategist. I'm sure many of you know me, which is why you're here, and thank you so much. So let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to jump over to my slides here. And just give me a moment while we set up. And I'll let the slide just load for a second, because sometimes there is a short delay. All right, so you should be seeing my how to make consistent sales from Instagram without thousands of followers free training slide, okay? Let's just confirm quick. There's a little black bar on the bottom, but it's all good. Okie doke. Let's do it. So I want you to know that you are in the right place today and at the right training today if you are an online business owner who sells a physical or digital product or service, okay? You're in the right place if you're struggling to convert your Instagram following into sales. Obviously, that is the primary thing we're going to be talking about today. And you're absolutely in the right place if you've been spending a lot of time on the app without any real results. Now, you may also be here and be struggling with the ability to increase your followers and your engagement. Okay, you may also be not sure of what type of content you should be posting and how to stay consistent on Instagram. It's incredibly difficult to stay consistent these days. I totally get it. So if you're struggling with that, then you are definitely in the right place. And you're finding it hard to keep up with all of the new Instagram features and changes. The app is constantly adding all kinds of new things that you probably feel like you need to know as soon as they come out so that you can stay ahead of the curve. And spoiler alert, you're going to learn that that's not exactly the case. So if you feel like any of these things, you're definitely in the right place. And I'm also guessing that you may be starting to feel frustrated with the app and like it's not fun anymore, and you're wondering if it's even worth it to continue. But ultimately, I think that you understand that Instagram is a powerful tool for your business, and you just need to clarify how to use it properly. And you're looking for a solution to your low sales that actually is going to work. Okay, so if this sounds like you are absolutely in the right place. And again, I'm so excited to share my training with you because I really do think it's going to make an impact in your life and your business today. So now I know that we can probably all relate to the things I just mentioned. So I'm pretty sure this training is going to apply to you. But to be clear, this training is not for you if you're looking for quick hacks that will change your business overnight. Okay, that doesn't exist. And this training is not for you if you're not prepared to put in the work. Okay, just like there's no overnight hack, there's no way to get results without putting in the effort. Okay. And finally, this training is not for you if you're only concerned about growing your following and not your sales. Okay. What I'm going to share with you today is how to generate more consistent sales in your business. So if for some reason that's not what you want, then you're probably in the wrong place. Okay. So throughout this training, I promise to uncover the exact reasons why you aren't making consistent sales in your business so you can walk away with clarity and know exactly where you need to direct your attention. I also promise to share with you a strategy that's proven to work, not only for myself, but also for my students and other online marketers. Okay, I pride myself in never teaching my students fleeting practices that take advantage of temporary loopholes or momentary trends, but rather I teach strategies that are tried, true, and will provide results long term. Okay. And finally, I promise I'm also going to give you practical and achievable goals to work towards. You are not going to leave this training feeling like making consistent sales is impossible. Instead, you're going to feel like you're inspired and you're confident in your ability to generate sales. So today's training is going to be about 1 hour long, and it's broken up into a few different sections. This, of course, is much longer than a typical YouTube video or other standard pieces of content, but I promise by the end, you'll be equipped with dozens of actionable tips and strategies that you can start applying to your business today. And so for the first 2 minutes or so, I'm going to quickly introduce myself. Then we'll spend about 5 minutes going over the 12 reasons why you likely aren't making sales from Instagram today. And then I will spend about 35 minutes teaching you my tried and true simplified sales strategy. And then in full disclosure, after that, I will be opening the doors to my paid program, the Instagram Ivy League, and offering you a limited time discount to join if you're interested in taking your education to the next level. Now, please note that even though there's a pitch at the end of this training, that doesn't mean that I won't be providing value throughout. I'm absolutely going to give you an actual strategy that you should be inspired by and that you can implement today without having to take the next step to paid programs. And after that, we're going to do about 15 minutes or so of Q&A. Obviously, I'm willing to stay as long as possible. So if there are a ton of questions, then we'll just keep going. So it might go a little bit longer than an hour, but I think if we allot an hour to be here together today, we'll be able to get through the training. And yeah, so let's do it then. Oh, but before we start, additionally, if you stay till the end of the training, I will be sending you the 2 bonuses that I promised, which are the conversion-focused caption writing guide and the simplified sales strategy cheat sheet. Okay, the cheat sheet's going to summarize everything that I teach you today. So if for some reason you don't make it to the end, this is going to give you a summary, but obviously you should stay till the end, please, because you're going to get way more detail. This will just be a cheat sheet, but it will be super, super helpful. And these 2 incredible bonuses will really help you absorb today's lessons and start implementing them right away. So now, with all of that out of the way, let's get started. And I'm just gonna very quickly check that we're all good. Seemingly yes. Okay. So let's be real. There are thousands of Instagram experts out there. So why am I the person that you should listen to? Well, in all honesty, I am just like you. I've always been an entrepreneur and I've experienced many ups and downs throughout my journey. I struggled for a really, really long time when things just weren't happening for me, no matter how hard I tried. But after many years, and as you can probably tell by this image here, things finally clicked for me. In 2014, I finally quit my job for good, and I went on to grow multiple Instagram accounts from 0 to over 450,000 followers without the use of bots, growth services, or spending all day on the app. Not only that, but I've also been paid to travel to Bali, Los Angeles, and Mexico. I've worked with major companies like Social Media Examiner, Later, Skillshare, and Tailwind. I've been featured on global television multiple times, and I've even had my content published in hundreds of media outlets, like including Business Insider, Time, and even Cosmopolitan magazine, which was pretty cool. And with Instagram, I've built my personal brand to over 60,000 followers. I've received verification from Instagram on 2 of my accounts. I've grown my Facebook group to over 38,000 members, my YouTube subscribers to 50,000, and my blog receives over 70,000 readers every single month. And on top of that, I've accumulated over 5,000 paying customers. So with this reach, I'm able to generate hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. And now I have the pleasure of teaching others how to achieve similar results in my elite program, the Instagram Ivy League. So my life has changed drastically thanks to Instagram. So that's why I put this training together for you. And I want to share all of my knowledge with you so that you don't have to spend the years struggling like I did. This is going to provide you a fast track knowledge base to jump ahead of the line, okay? You do not need to struggle for as long as I did, and you don't need to feel as, like that it was so hard for as long as I did, okay? So now that you know a little bit about me, let's talk about you and why you likely aren't making sales with Instagram today. So there are 3 main reasons that you likely aren't making sales on Instagram. You either have a content problem, a reach problem, or an offer problem. And in some cases, you might have more than one. So having a content problem means that your content doesn't inspire action. Okay, when people see and read your posts, it must make them do something. Whether that's engage with the post or go over to your website, send you a DM, or simply become more curious in what you have to offer. Okay? Your content probably is not positioning your offer as a solution. If you're not actively positioning your offer as something that your audience needs, then you should not be surprised by your lack of sales. And you might have a content problem if you're not demonstrating any authority or credibility within your content. If you fail to make it clear why your offering is unique or better than the rest, you might get beat out by your competitors. Okay, so these 3 things kind of describe the content problem that you might be having that's impacting your sales. And when you have a reach problem, it means that you aren't exposing your offer or your audience to your offer enough. Whether you have 100 followers or 1,000 followers, if you aren't telling them about your offer regularly, then the reach you do get is being lost. And when I say offer, just quickly, offer, I mean your product, your service, whatever it is that you sell. Okay, whatever your paid product is, that's what I'm calling your offer. Okay. So your reach problem might also be that you don't have enough of an audience or reach to expose your offer to. Okay. If your posts simply aren't reaching enough people, then the possibility of converting them into sales doesn't exist, right? And with that, you don't have a growth strategy, okay? If you're simply relying on posting and using hashtags to increase your reach, you likely won't see the uptick in reach that you need in order to generate sales, okay? And the reach problem is the primary problem that most of my students have when they come to me. So I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of you are nodding your head at this point. And finally, if you have an offer problem, it might be that your website experience is poor. So people are fickle and have extremely short attention spans. And if they visit your website and have a bad experience, you better believe that they are not going to buy. You might also not be giving your potential customer a reason to buy today. So just as they're fickle, they also have difficulties making decisions. So if there's no incentive to buy today, then they probably won't. And finally, your offer maybe hasn't been validated. Okay, if you're selling something that nobody asked for, you will have a really tough time selling it. Should make sense, but sometimes we're super excited about something and we put it on the market and we wonder why no one's buying it, but it might be because nobody asked for it. Okay, so these are just some reasons why you might not be making sales today. And if any of this sounds familiar, do not worry, you are not alone. And every problem that I've listed has a clear solution that I'm going to share with you today, and so that you can effectively turn your sales around, okay? So I want you to understand that making sales with Instagram can be easy, despite what you may have experienced so far or all of the conflicting information I'm sure you've seen online. The truth is that you don't need the latest trends or to hack the algorithm or find some secret loophole. You just need a strategy. So with that, I want to introduce you to my Simplified Sales Strategy, which is exactly what it sounds like. It's a simple way to turn your Instagram following into real paying customers, which I think is what everybody wants, right? So the Simplified Sales Strategy is made up of 4 elements: content, traffic, lead generation, and conversion. And as you can see by this little graphic here, each one of these elements is a link. And together they make an incredibly strong chain. And what you'll learn as we progress today is that if a link is missing, you will continue to generate sales. Okay, you need all 4 of these elements together. So when it comes to your content on Instagram, simply posting pretty pictures is not enough. Your content must have purpose, and it must push your audience towards potentially becoming a customer. This is typically done through education, addressing pain points or objections, demonstrating authority and credibility, and relating to your audience, okay? By doing these things, you push them towards that next step, which is becoming a customer. So your content must inspire action. Now, in terms of traffic, sales don't happen on Instagram. They actually happen on your website, right? So that means that if you want to get more sales, you need more traffic. It's pretty simple, but this is a problem that most of my students have when they come to me, okay? You need more traffic. That is integral. And more traffic to your website is a step in the right direction, but not every visit will convert into a sale. So you need a method to turn people or to get people to return until they do buy, right? So by utilizing lead generation, you can collect the emails of potential customers and invite them back again and again and again until they do purchase. And finally, the last element of the Simplified Sales Strategy is conversion. So I just told you that most people do not purchase on the first visit. So we need to implement a conversion strategy that gets people off the fence and gets them to buy, right? How do we get our traffic from not being ready right now to handing over their credit card? Okay, so that's what the conversion element is all about. Now, I'm sure that these 4 elements sound familiar to you, and you may think that you actually have one or two of them on lock, which is awesome. However, it's simply not enough. You must have all 4 elements of the Simplified Sales Strategy if you want to make consistent sales from Instagram. For example, if you just have good content, you might get some engagement and followers, but they will likely never convert into customers because you don't actually have a method for getting them onto your website and into your sales funnel, right? And if you have good content and traffic, you'll get people to your website, but they likely won't convert because, as I said, most people don't buy on the first visit. And finally, if you have a conversion strategy, but you don't have any traffic or leads, then you won't have anyone to sell to, right? So as you can see, all 4 elements rely on each other, and without one of them, you have no sales. So please keep that in mind, because it's really easy to focus on the element that you like or are most interested in, but not giving enough attention to the other 3 will impact your ability to generate sales. So now I want to dive further into each one of these concepts and elements to show you exactly how to implement them in your business to see more sales. So I'm just going to take a quick sip of bone broth, actually. I'm in a cold garage right now, so trying to stay warm as we do this. But okay, starting with content. We all know that content is important, okay? You know that you need to show up on Instagram to grow your following and hopefully your paying customers. But what most people miss is that simply uploading a post Sharing stories or jumping on a Reels trend is not exactly solving your problem of not having enough sales. And even worse, most people measure the success of their content by the amount of likes that it receives. Okay, so let me be clear and frank with you up front. Instagram engagement is not what it used to be. Gone are the days of getting a ton of engagement right after posting. And if you've been on the app for a few years, you've probably personally seen the decline. And in fact, my own posts used to get like 2,000 likes or more with half the amount of followers that I have now. And now I hover anywhere from like 300 to 1,000 likes on a good day. But the good news is that this lack of likes doesn't impact my sales, and it shouldn't impact yours either. As long as you approach your content correctly, that is. So please do not use your engagement as a measure of your ability to generate sales, because it's just not true. Metrics like reach and profile visits actually say a lot more than just likes. So now I want to ask you, how much time are you currently spending on content creation per week? I'd really like to know, because most small business owners dedicate multiple full days to content creation per week, and sadly, they barely see any results from it. In a perfect world, your content would actually generate thousands of impressions daily. It would increase your reach outside of your current audience. It would increase your engagement and followers. It would boost clicks on your link. It would build brand awareness, connect with your following, and supply data to the algorithm to spread your content far and wide. But in reality, you're probably seeing a decrease in reach, low engagement, and no sales. Not only that, but you might feel like the time you dedicated to content creation was totally wasted. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but that time probably was wasted. So here's the deal. If your content doesn't have purpose or a specific goal that it's trying to achieve, you are wasting time. Think about the last post that you published. What was the goal of it? Did you purposely create it to ignite curiosity in your audience and encourage them to visit your website to learn more? Or did you just post something because you hadn't in a while, you felt like you had to, or you just had a new image that you wanted to share? If the latter is the case, then your post likely didn't have purpose and the time you spent on it was wasted. So with that in mind, your goal is to make sales, right? And for the majority of people watching right now, you probably collect your funds for your products and services on your website, right? So that means that getting people to your website should be the goal of all of your content. Okay. Now this can come in the form of telling your audience to click the link in your bio or adding the link sticker to your stories. But to truly get them interested in clicking and actually buying from you, you must design your content in a certain way. And most importantly, you need to write your caption in a certain way. So let's start with your design. Whether you're posting an image, graphic, or video, you need to consider what types of content visually perform well in your niche. In most cases, these are carousels, quotes, timely content like seasonal content, niche-specific memes, lifestyle content, and behind-the-scenes content. So from here, with these in mind, I want you to spend some time looking at others in your niche. Like, what are they posting? What's working for them? Okay, you really need to determine, obviously, first, what your imagery is going to be. How is that going to stop people from scrolling? And then we'll move on to caption writing. So here's a few examples so that you can see exactly what I mean. So there's 3 photos here, and the one on the left-hand side absolutely stopped me from scrolling because 1, it's eye-catching with its bright purple color, and 2, look at it, it's a fun crossword. Of course I want to look. I'm going to spend a moment to see which word I see first, right? So that's absolutely what I call scroll stopping. You want your imagery to stop people from scrolling so that you can capture that attention. Then with caption writing, we'll get them to take the next step. But if you don't get them to stop, then they won't even read your caption, right? So this first one is great. And then in the center, you see a quote. Quotes always perform really well for pretty much every niche. You don't want to use a quote, 100% of the time, but if you can use a quote that speaks to your target audience, it's absolutely going to get them to stop scrolling, to read it, and then probably engage or share with it from there, right? And then finally, this image on the right-hand side is just a super cute like wedding photo that someone like me who kind of lives rurally and, likes the country and likes outdoors would definitely stop when I see this in my feed, right? It's cute. So you want to make sure that anything that you are posting to your Instagram, you've thought about, you've given a purpose to, and it's going to stop the scroll, okay? So once you've created a visual that's sure to appeal to your target market and stop them from scrolling, your caption is what's really going to take the next step or get them to take the next step. So remember, your goal is to get your audience to visit your website. So you need more than just words to do this, right? Your captions should accomplish at least one of the following. They should educate your audience. They should address customer pain points or objections. They should demonstrate authority or credibility, or they should relate to your audience. Okay? When you accomplish at least one of these things, you're actively selling, even if it doesn't feel like it. For example, if you focus on education, that makes your audience more confident in purchasing from you. And if you address their objections, that takes away any reasoning they might have not to buy. And if you work on relating to your audience, that builds connection with them that makes them want to buy from you. Okay, so this is not your typical version of selling, but it is selling and it actually works and it makes your audience want to click that link in your bio. Okay, so when you signed up for this training, I promised you a couple of bonuses, and one of them was my conversion-focused caption writing guide. And this guide will show you how to write captions from start to finish that take into account what I just taught you and actually encourage sales. So inside, you're gonna find the exact format I use and some great examples to replicate. And this lesson actually comes directly out of my program, the Instagram Ivy League, so I am sure you're going to love it. So while we're just getting started here, I want to thank you for sticking with me this far and send you this bonus. So this will be in your inbox after the training concludes. So definitely look out for that, but do not go looking for it yet because it won't be there until after, okay? So stick with me. But this conversion-focused caption writing guide is going to help you implement this entire concept of writing captions that actually help generate sales, okay? So to summarize the content element of your simplified sales strategy, your content must have purpose. Your imagery must stop the scroll and your caption must encourage them to click. Okay? Just like if you're missing a link in the chain, it falls apart. The same applies to your content. If you have a great image but a shit caption, what do you think is going to happen? Okay? You're not going to see the results that you desire. Now, I quickly want to introduce you to Purnima. Purnima is, I think, actually in the chat right now, which is awesome. She is a program designer by trade, but has a passion for making beautiful and intricate soaps. And when Purnima enrolled in the Instagram Ivy League, she had just started her business and had 2,000 followers on her account. But by approaching posting in the strategic manner I just shared with you, she was able to skyrocket her business and followers to over 5,000 in just a few months. So by giving your content a goal and making it work for you instead of the other way around, you can achieve incredible results. And this is Pascal. She is a life coach and strategist. And when she joined the Instagram Ivy League, she literally had 10 followers and no plan to grow her business. By using my content strategies, she was able to grow to over 5,000 followers at the time of this testimonial, but she actually has over 15,000 now. And she has amazing engagement and feels great knowing that her audience will react positively to everything that she posts. So when you stop posting haphazardly and start posting with purpose, you'll feel an incredible shift in your confidence on the platform. So moving on to traffic. Before I tell you how traffic plays a role in the simplified sales strategy, consider this. Sales are not made on Instagram. Let me repeat that. Sales are not made on Instagram. Okay? Sales are made on your website once a user has left Instagram. That means that Instagram is not actually a social media platform. It's a tool to funnel potential customers to your website to buy your products. And because of that, we must treat Instagram as the top of our marketing funnel. You're going to use Instagram to find potential customers, create content that sends them over to your website, and then you're going to convert them into sales. Okay, so from today forward, I want this to be the way that you look at Instagram. It's no longer a social media platform. It's actually a tool for your business. So with that in mind, we all understand that making sales requires traffic. So the more traffic you can get, the more sales you should be able to generate, right? Surprisingly, yes, it really can be that simple. And I want you to understand that generating sales from Instagram is not a secret mystery that involves cracking the algorithmic code or finding loopholes in the system. It's actually a lot more pragmatic and can be broken down into easy mathematics. So let me ask you, what do you think the standard Instagram post to link click conversion rate is? That means what % of people that read a post on Instagram immediately go to that person's bio and click the link? What % do you think that is? Do you think it's 5%, 10%, 15%? Well, in all actuality, it's around 1%, which is extremely low. So if the average post has a 1% call to action conversion rate, that means that if you get 1,000 impressions on a post, 10 people might click the link in your bio. 10. And from there, the average website visit to conversion, the average website to purchase conversion is about 2%. Okay, so that means that 2% of people that make it to your website might buy a product from you. So meaning that of those 10 people that made it to your website, 0 are actually going to buy from you because 2% of 10 is 0.2. It's not even a full person. So I hope this clearly demonstrates that you need more traffic in order to get a sale. Okay, it really has nothing to do with like your website or your product at this point. You could have an incredibly irresistible offer, but you still need more traffic to generate sales. So how do you achieve more traffic? Well, it certainly starts with the first part of the strategy, your content. You want to create scroll-stopping imagery and write captions that inspire curiosity and encourage your audience to go over to your website, right? This is the number one way to easily increase your traffic from Instagram. But you can also try posting at optimal times, and doing this ensures that more people see your content as soon as it's posted. Okay, that's going to boost its position in the algorithm and increase its chances of going viral. You can also use carefully selected hashtags. So hashtags are a powerful traffic generating tool if you use the right ones. So you always want to make sure that they're descriptive of your content and business as a whole to attract the most targeted users. And you can also work on attracting new people through manual engagement. And this one is key, okay? Leaving likes and comments can drastically increase traffic back to your feed and over to your website. So this is something that I do every single day and I teach my students to do every single day. So please don't shy away from manual engagement. And you can also try paid advertising. If you have a budget, adding paid advertising to your strategy can boost your traffic significantly. Now, these are just a few ideas, and there are many, many more to consider, and I share my favorite ones exclusively in my program, the Instagram Ivy League. But the thing is here is that most small business owners are concerned about time, right? And this list that I just gave you of things to increase your traffic could take substantial time, but it's absolutely integral to generating sales. So think about this. If you traded the time that you currently spend on content creation for traffic generation, how would that impact your sales? Imagine instead of posting every day and getting 1,000 impressions on each of those posts, you only posted a few times a week, but each of those pieces of content generated 10,000 impressions. That would drastically increase the traffic to your website, improving your chances of securing a sale, all while reducing your time spent creating content, right? So my student Omar took this to heart when he realized that content creation was becoming increasingly difficult and demotivating for him. He was focused on merely keeping up, and it was draining his time and energy. So he decided to reduce his posting to once a week. He invested a little bit of money in ads and focused on dialing in on traffic generating features like hashtags, and saw incredible results, including 9 times the reach on his new posts. And even better, he removed the unnecessary pressure that he previously felt about having to always be logged into Instagram and on social media. And what Omar and myself and so many other students of mine understand is that you don't have to stick to the standard social media status quo. You don't have to post every single day or constantly be logged into the app. As long as that when you are logged in, you're putting that time towards what matters, creating content that makes an impact and funneling traffic over to your website. So those are the first 2 elements of the strategy, and as you can see, they go hand in hand. Great content leads to more traffic, which leads us to the 3rd element, lead generation. So assuming that you're creating content that inspires action, lost my spot here. Assuming you're creating content that inspires action and you've dedicated extra time to consistently increase traffic to your website, what are you going to do next? What are you going to do next? Because for most people, this is the end of the line, and that is a huge mistake. It's a huge mistake because studies show that a person needs to interact with your brand and or product a total of 7 times before they decide to buy. That means that you're going to need to post a lot more content than what we just previously discussed, and continually encourage them to click that link in your bio until they finally convert, right? And considering the 1% conversion rate from your posts to your website, posting more is simply not a practical or sustainable solution, which is where lead generation comes in. And I know that lead generation sounds like a fancy marketing term, but it simply means collecting contact information from your potential customer, such as their email, so that you can connect with them and bring them back to your website anytime that you want. That means that instead of constantly posting to Instagram to try and funnel new traffic over to your website, only for a fraction of them to buy, and then having to repeat that cycle over and over again, you can capture that traffic on their first visit, send a follow-up email a week or so later, and get that same traffic back to your website a second time for a whole lot less effort. This idea is incredibly important when you consider that they need to interact with you up to 7 times before purchasing, but also because of this statistic. Approximately 96% of website visitors are not ready to purchase. Horrifying, I know, but validates the need to implement lead generation and to collect as many visitors' information as possible so that you do not lose them forever. Now, you may be asking, well, how exactly is this different than having them as a follower on Instagram? And I'm glad that you asked that because it is massively different, okay? You do not own your audience on Instagram. Instagram can take it away from you at any moment, and then you're left with nothing. Like, what are you going to do then? You have to start over. And when you post content on Instagram, only a small fraction of your audience is actually going to see it. And action blocks and account bans are becoming more and more common, so it's incredibly important to safeguard your followers. And also, Instagram seems to go down right before you intend to make a huge announcement to your followers. And this has actually happened to me like 3 times in the last couple months. So even if you have a large audience, it's at constant risk of disappearing in an instant. In comparison, you own your email list. It's stored securely and can be exported onto a file onto your desktop to be used whenever you like. It can never be deleted without your consent, blocked from your use, or taken away from you at any time. And email open rates average from 20 to 29%, meaning that of all the people that you email, up to 29% of them are going to open it, read it, and likely click on one of the links inside. The people that didn't open, you can then retarget at a different time or with a different subject line to make sure that they also open it. So compared to the average 10% reach that an Instagram post gets, that's surrounded by endless other posts and stories and distracting features, email is going to capture the dedicated attention of your audience significantly more. And finally, according to a study conducted by McKinsey & Co., email is 40 times more effective at acquiring a customer than social media. Okay, so I hope that makes it abundantly clear how powerful an email list is and how it's great to grow your following, but you need more than that if you want a sustainable business, right? So let's go back to the matter at hand here. Not only are 96% of visitors not ready to buy on their first visit, for that remaining 4%, there are so many other reasons why they might leave your website without purchasing. For example, maybe your website is slow, or maybe the aesthetics aren't great. You haven't had time to design it the way you like it. Or maybe it's not mobile friendly, which is a huge thing today because so many users operate their whole lives on their mobile phone. And these things can cause people to leave right away and never return to your website. So that's exactly why you must capture their contact information and add it to your email list for later use. And those three things that I mentioned are just a fraction of the website errors that you could be making that cause your traffic to disappear. And inside the Instagram Ivy League, I actually give you a multi-page document that covers all of the website must-haves that you need to ensure that you turn away as little traffic as possible. So I'm sure that you're saying, okay, this sounds great, Alex, I get it, but how do I actually get their email? So to capture contact information of potential customers, you're going to need to offer something of value to them. Okay, this is what we call a lead magnet. And it may be a helpful PDF, a simple discount code, a training like the one you're watching right now, or almost anything else related to your niche. You just need to consider the following. Most marketers understand the importance of lead generation. Okay, so your potential customer has likely been asked to provide their email on every website they visited that day, right? So that means that you need to make your lead magnet worth it. What are they truly willing to hand over their email for? How can you provide value? How can you solve a problem or impact their life positively? Okay, these are all things that you should be considering when you're coming up with your lead magnet. But I also don't want you to get too, don't look into it too much. A lead magnet can be really simple. Like just a 10% off coupon code is great, right? Obviously, this depends on your business, but lead magnets can be super, super simple, but achieve a massive goal. Now, this is the time when you probably start telling me that this whole email list thing sounds a little complicated and a bit too salesy, and then I immediately stop you in your tracks. Okay, I've heard this objection from my students over and over and over again. You're just a small business owner and you're not a marketer, right? But that ends today, okay? If you want more sales, you need to get salesy. You need to get markety, and you need to start taking the reins on your own success. Remember that salesy does not have to mean sleazy, okay? You don't have to feel bad about it. It just means that you're prioritizing making sales, and there is absolutely no shame in that. We're all here for this reason, right? And the number one way to do this is to, in our fast-paced online world in specific, is to focus on lead generation. So if you skip this step, I promise you're going to struggle to see results. Now, before we continue to the final part of the Simplified Sales Strategy, I want to leave you with an even more inspiring idea. Not only does lead generation offer you a way to get potential customers back to your website and looking at your offering again and again, it also works the other direction. You can capture leads from Instagram, then you can send them back to Instagram when you publish a new post, and that's going to boost your engagement and spread your content even further. This simple tactic will increase your Instagram engagement, traffic to your website, and generate brand new leads. So it's a self-fulfilling loop that ends with you converting more people into customers. So I hope you can see the power of lead generation. And this is Hillary. Hillary took my advice about prioritizing lead generation and was able to build her list to 800 people in just a few months by offering a 10% discount code on her embroidery kits. Super simple lead magnet, but really, really great results from it, right? So she now sends out a monthly newsletter and sees a spike in orders every single time that she does. So that's one easy way to get cash injections in your business. Start a newsletter, send out an email, and make sales. And Ashley had similar results when she created her lead magnet. In fact, she was able to add 360 new email subscribers to her list in just 1 week and increase the sales of her yoga services along with it. So building an email list is actually really, really easy, and it can pay off massively. So I hope that at this point, you understand the role that your content plays. You understand that you need more traffic to position yourself for consistent sales. And you understand that most people don't buy on the first visit to your website. So adding them to your email list is extremely important. Now what? Well, obviously now is the good part. Now we get to convert these people into real paying customers. So it's really easy to fall into the trap of believing once you get someone to your website, and even better, get them onto your email list, that they are definitely going to buy from you. But unfortunately, it's still not true. Okay, this is why so many of you are here right now watching this, and why everywhere that you look, people are asking the question, how do I make more sales? It's not as easy as your successful entrepreneur friends make it seem, but what I hope you're learning today is that it is possible with the right strategy. So I previously suggested that after collecting their contact info, you could send them an email a week or so later asking them to return to the website. But just as sending them to your website to view a product isn't a surefire way to get them to buy, neither is sending them a basic email with a link to your product inside, right? You actually need a conversion strategy that's going to get them off the fence and into your bank account. So in most cases, small business owners will start using Instagram as a means to attract an audience and potential customers, but they fail to put all of the links of the chain together. This means that their sales likely look something like this. Your sales are sporadic and inconsistent. You may get random spikes in traffic that are unexplained, and it typically is too low to actually move the needle in your business, right? And it's nearly impossible to rely on this frequency of sales. Not to mention, it's frustrating because you know that you have an awesome offering, but it's just not converting. So I don't want your sales graphs to look anything like this, right? With the right conversion strategy, your sales could look something like this instead, okay? So when you look at this, you'll see that you still have some small ups and downs, and that's totally normal in the online business world. You cannot practically guess what your income is going to be every single day or every single month, but you can get it to be pretty comfortable and pretty standard. So you're going to have small ups and downs, and then you can supplement those with timed cash injections, which I teach you in the Instagram Ivy League, and you can see those are these spikes here. And over time, your growth is going to compound, okay? It's going to create a truly sustainable business. So what exactly is my conversion strategy? Well, the biggest thing to consider when it comes to generating sales is that people typically are not ready, right? I've already told you that today and backed it up with some serious statistics. There's always a reason not to buy. So you need a conversion strategy that changes that. And in the Instagram Ivy League, I teach a strategy that includes sending a series of emails that helps achieve the same goals that our captions do. They educate, demonstrate credibility and authority, relate to your audience, and more. And remember, email will reach your audience far more frequently than your Instagram posts. And since it's being sent directly to them, they often are perceived a lot more personally. Okay, so just keep that in mind when it comes to email. And with that, we introduce the idea of urgency. So if someone is humming and hawing about a purchase, what is the best way to get them off the fence? Well, you use urgency. Urgency can be used in a multitude of ways, but it typically presents itself as a limited time offer, an expiring discount, or dwindling quantities. FOMO, or the fear of missing out, is a real thing, and it can be very, very powerful in getting people off the fence and towards making a decision. a profitable decision for you, and one that doesn't take 7, 10, or 14 visits to your website to achieve. Now, I can't share my entire conversion strategy in this free training today, but if you decide to join me in the Instagram Ivy League, I provide you the exact step-by-step instructions, email swipe files, social strategy, and calendars to follow to see massive cash injections in your business in just 5 days. So ask yourself, do you currently have anything in place, anything that helps your potential customer make the decision to buy? If not, you are leaving money on the table, and your competitors who have implemented email and urgency marketing are going to leave you in the dust. We are in 2021 and almost 2022, and everyone is moving their business online. And the most successful business owners are using these exact strategies, okay? So you need to adopt them. You cannot be afraid of email lists or marketing tactics. If you are, then you aren't going to see the sales that you desire. So these are the exact strategies that have made me over $1 million and counting, and helped Zach to generate $23,000 in 3 months after joining the Instagram Ivy League. By utilizing my content, traffic, lead, and sales strategies, Zach was able to grow to over 3,000 followers and bring in $23,000 in sale. And shortly after that, he came into our private Facebook group and shared a win with us. And he told us that his business, which is a side hustle, by the way, was now making just under $10,000 a month. He also said something that I think is incredibly important for you to hear. He said, "This is possible. Just keep going." And Zach isn't the only one, okay? Hope secured 5 new clients immediately after implementing my advice. Sal was able to generate $12,000 using my email and urgency offer methods. And Joe sold 5 commissioned art pieces, totaling over $5,000 in just 2 months. So that is the 4-part simplified sales strategy. It's made up of content, traffic, lead generation, and conversion. And together, they make an incredibly strong and powerful chain. But remember, if you're missing a link, it will all fall apart, right? If you just have good content, you might get some good engagement and followers, but they're likely never going to convert into customers. And if you have content and traffic, you'll get people to your website, but they likely still won't buy. And if you have conversion, but no traffic or leads, you simply will not have anyone to sell to. So with all of that said, let's go ahead and do a quick recap, because I know I just threw a lot of information at you. So you just learned that creating content for the sake of creating content is a waste of time. Your content must encourage your audience to visit your website to learn more about your offerings, right? If you're not getting people into that next step of your sales funnel, they're not going to convert. And you also learned that you need traffic to generate sales, right? Without significant traffic, you mathematically cannot make sales. And that makes the traffic element arguably the most important element of your entire sales strategy. You also learned that 96% of people will not buy on the first visit to your website, so you need to implement a lead generation strategy to bring them back to your site over and over if you actually want to finally convert them. And finally, you learned that even with content that encourages action, even with an influx in traffic, and even with an email list, people will still be hesitant to buy. So you must implement a conversion strategy that utilizes email marketing and urgency to get them off the fence and into your bank account, right? What you also probably learned is that what you're doing right now simply isn't working. You're missing an element or two, and that's what's severely impacting your ability to make sales. And you may have also learned that there are a lot of moving parts that you haven't figured out on your own. And if you don't figure them out soon, your competition is likely to leave you in the dust and take your potential customers from you. And while I have given away a lot of my secrets today, I know that mastering these 4 elements is best done with the help of someone who understands it. So that is exactly why I created my program, the Instagram Ivy League. When you signed up for this training today, you knew that you needed a solution to your sales problems, and I truly believe that the Instagram Ivy League is that solution. So if you are looking for a proven strategy to build your following of raving fans and in just a few minutes a day, if you're looking for an easy method to come up with content and a posting schedule that you can actually stick to, if you're looking for simple tactics and techniques to convert your following into a steady stream of true and real paying customers, and if you're looking for a step-by-step roadmap to using Instagram to market your business and explode your sales, then the Instagram Ivy League is for you. And as you can see here, Miru completely changed her strategy after joining the Instagram Ivy League and instantly booked 4 new clients. So the Instagram Ivy League is a complete A to Z program that is based on the structure of my Simplified Sales Strategy that I just shared with you today. And it teaches you in a clear and easy to follow format how to strategically optimize your Instagram and your business for more sales, okay? You need both of these things. You can't just have a good Instagram account. Your business also has to be optimized and ready to accept sales. You're also going to learn how to create and implement a sustainable content marketing plan that you can actually stick to and does not waste hours and hours of your time, right? Creating content is the number one thing that takes up business owners' times, and it doesn't result in much. So you're going to learn a content strategy that's actually going to get you results. You're also going to learn how to build a dedicated and engaged following that comments, likes, and shares everything that you post. So you can be confident in what you're sharing to Instagram is going to be received well, and you can get that dopamine hit when you do get the engagement that you want. And you're also going to learn how to start and build an email list with a constant flow of real potential customers, okay? I hope you understand now how important this element is and how you need this today. And finally, you're going to learn how to utilize my urgency-based offer to effortlessly convert followers into customers. And Rachel, my student, loves the program because I provided her with clear direction and a game plan to build and grow her business, okay? And I promise it will do the same for you. So your enrollment in the Instagram Ivy League includes 60 step-by-step video tutorials to help you master Instagram, build a following, and sell your product with ease. It also includes 28 digital workbooks, checklists, calendars, and PDFs to help you better absorb the course content and keep track of your growth. And you're also going to get 3 success mindset lessons to ensure you aren't getting in your own way and you see the results that you desire. And you're also going to get 7 accountability checkpoints, which our current students absolutely love, with myself and my team to uncover any issues you may encounter and keep you on the right track. In addition to all of that, you're also going to get 5 powerful bonuses. Okay, so not only are you going to get the entire Instagram Ivy League program, you'll also receive access to the private Facebook community where you can connect with like-minded business owners, build relationships, and get as much support as you need along your journey. You're also going to get the Influencer Marketing for Business Owners mini course, which is going to teach you how to expose your brand to new audiences and make sales by utilizing the power of influencers. Additionally, you'll get access to the Instagram Ads Crash Course, which will take your Instagram marketing to the next level with a paid advertising strategy. You're also going to get my popular Success by Story Instagram Stories program, where inside I'll teach you endless tips, tricks, and hacks for generating impressions and engagement through your Instagram stories. And finally, you're also going to get the Business Owners Hashtag Bank, which includes over 600 hand-selected hashtags in 13 different niches. Okay, so for me to personally teach you all of the content in this program in a one-on-one mentorship would actually cost you over $7,000. And for you to hire a social media manager and a business mentor to grow your following and develop a sales strategy for you would cost at least $3,000 per month. And for you to buy all of the elements of this program individually would cost you $2,347. But the retail price of the Instagram Ivy League is just $997. However, because you've stuck with me throughout this training and have shown me that you're willing to put in the work, I want to offer you a limited time exclusive discount, making your enrollment cost just $397 or 3 payments of $165. Okay, I'm confident that with the help of the Instagram Ivy League, you'll be able to make back your investment in just a few months, if not sooner. So please take advantage of that discount if you want to drastically improve not only your Instagram, but your skills as an online marketer. Okay, all you have to do is click the link below this video to go to the checkout or to learn more about the details of the program. Okay, the link is there for anyone who's interested. And to make enrolling today absolutely risk-free, I have included a generous 30-day refund policy. Okay, if you enroll in the program, implement my methods, and they do not work for you, I will happily refund your entire investment. Now, I want you to meet Michelle. Michelle is a social media manager, and she came to me last year looking for help to grow not only her own account and her business, but also the accounts of her clients. She enrolled in the Instagram Ivy League, and within 30 days, she had made back her investment and had increased the income she was making before signing up by 6 times. Okay, she's now fully booked out with high-paying clients and attributes her success to the easy-to-implement strategies from my program, the Instagram Ivy League. Michelle actually also gave me a really wonderful video testimonial explaining her experience, and that is on my sales page. So if you'd like to learn more about her journey, then that is there for you to watch. And another exciting success story is Daniela. Daniela owns a pet apparel brand, and when she joined the Instagram Ivy League, she had no following and her business was brand new. Within 3 months, she had grown to 10,000 followers and massively increased her sales and traffic to her website, ranking her website in the top 6% of sites in her niche, which is incredible. And not only did the sales of her products take off, she also had the opportunity to work with a famous artist from Miami to make an exclusive product, and it sold out immediately. So by using Instagram strategically, she quickly built a loyal fan base, increased her sales, and expanded her product line, okay? And you can do this too. So to make it even more clear the value that you're going to get of the Instagram Ivy League, I want to quickly break down the 4 main phases of the program. So phase 1 is all about setting up a strong foundation for both your Instagram and your business. This is incredibly important because when you start progressing through the later lessons, you're going to get an increase in traffic to your site, and you need to be ready for that. So you can't just have a good Instagram account, like I said earlier. You also need a really good website experience. So by the end of phase 1, you will have optimized your profile to generate views on autopilot. You will have created a content creation plan that you can stick to that does not drain all of your time or energy. You will have mastered hashtag research, and you will have created your lead magnet and begun to collect leads. Then in phase 2, we dive deep into content creation. Okay, you'll learn how to strategically create content that maximizes impressions and engagement and follows the purpose-driven guidelines that I shared with you today. The content that you create here will build trust and authority with your audience, all while taking very little time out of your schedule. And phase 3 is everyone's favorite part of the Instagram Ivy League because this is where you get to start implementing my tried and true growth strategies that will skyrocket your growth, okay? Not only will we be focusing on your follower count though, we're also going to be focusing on, of course, your email list. And by the end of this phase, you should have at least 100 potential customers on your list, and your Instagram account will be growing with targeted users daily. And then in the last phase, you will follow my step-by-step urgency offer framework to effortlessly convert your followers and new email subscribers into real paying customers. I've done absolutely everything for you in this module, so you can literally copy and paste everything that I've given to you into your business and see sales within 5 days. Again, this module is what I think sets the Instagram Ivy League apart from other Instagram courses out there because you're not learning just Instagram strategy. You're learning real marketing tools that you can keep with you for the rest of your online career, which is exactly what Kenzie had to say. Kenzie sells gorgeous handmade candles and originally found Instagram totally overwhelming. But with the support of the Instagram Ivy League, she learned so much about using Instagram strategically to grow her following and her business that she'll keep referring to the course content for the entirety of her online career. So the Instagram Ivy League is not just an Instagram course, right? It's an online marketing course that teaches you how to harness the power of our favorite app and turn it into a long-term sales and income resource for you. So you have two options, okay? You can take what I taught you today and try to piece it together on your own, or you can scour Google for the answers, buy 4 different courses that teach you each element of my strategy, or worst of all, do nothing. Or you can make an investment in yourself and in your business by joining the Instagram Ivy League. When creating this program, I listened to all of my audience's questions. Okay, I listened to their concerns and frustrations, and with that, I made sure that the program tackled all of those in full. I even enrolled in a number of Instagram courses only to find out that the content was superficial, fluffy, or simply unactionable. Okay, so I've purposely created a course that far exceeds everything else on the market and gives you a complete look at using Instagram as a true marketing tool. That means that in the program, you'll be getting step-by-step answers that you need to see results. Okay, you're going to get lessons that focus on what matters, sales generation, obviously, and not superficial things like vanity metrics or momentary trends. You're also going to get a program that's easy to navigate, understand, and it doesn't waste hours of your time. And you'll get a strategy that's created by someone who has been in your shoes. Okay, someone who has gone from nothing to financially free following these exact methods. So Michelle said that the Instagram Ivy League really helped her to start reaching the right people, and she loved that she didn't need to have millions of followers to benefit from it, which is so true. The methods in this program will work for any online business, big or small. So, to quickly reiterate the pricing, for me to personally teach you all of the content in this program would cost $7,000. And to hire a social media manager and business mentor to do it for you would cost over $3,000 a month. And for you to buy all of the elements individually would cost you $2,347. But today you can enroll for just $397 or 3 easy payments of $165. This is the absolute lowest price you will ever see this program for, and the offer expires this week, so please take advantage. So to join, all you have to do is click the button below this video or any button on the sales page, and it will take you to a secure checkout. From there, you can go ahead and select your payment plan, so whether you want to pay in full or do the payment plan. You can enter your details, and please make sure you include your Instagram username so that I can look at your account and give you a follow. And then once you've done all of that, all you need to do is hit the complete order button. Okay, from there, you'll immediately receive an email from me with your login details for the exclusive membership platform. With those, you can access the content right away, including the entire 4-phase framework, all of the additional workbooks and checklists and downloads, the success mindset lessons, the ongoing accountability, and the 5 incredible bonuses. So that is the whole shebang. That is the training. That's the offer. If you guys are excited, please let me know. Please click the link below if you'd like to join us in the Instagram Ivy League. We would be so happy to have you, and I would be so excited to learn more about your business and help you start generating the consistent sales that I know that you deserve and are capable of achieving. So now I guess I'm going to switch my camera back over, and I would be happy to take some questions. So let's see. Hopefully that went off without a hitch. I was in my own world there. I have no idea if it worked. Okay, so I'm just stepping in here. I'm gonna check in with Hannah, see what's going on. Give me 1 second here. There's a bit of a lag. Okay. All right. Okay, I gotta sit back so that I'm in focus here. Okay, so there's still quite a few of you with us right now, which is awesome. Thank you so much for staying to the end. I know these webinars can be long, and not everyone makes it till the end, so thank you so much. Okay, so Hannah has collected a bunch of questions for me. Okay, the first one, how do you make sales without always being too salesy in your content? So I hope that whoever asked this question remained for that section where I addressed that. Salesy doesn't have to mean sleazy, and it doesn't have to be like blatant promotion, right? You don't have to make a post that's like, hey guys, I have a product, go to my website and buy it, because I hope that you learned that that actually doesn't work that well. So instead of being salesy and being blatant with your promotion, you can work on educating your audience, right? If you say, oh, did you know that, this fact about my industry, that type of information that's going to make them more confident in purchasing is what's doing the selling for you. Okay. So if you can give them information that triggers them to say, oh, that's what I need, or, oh, I didn't know that. Oh, that makes this product seem more beneficial to me, then do that. Okay. And doing things like just relating to your audience. How can you tell a story that you think your target market would relate to? When you do that, a connection is built, and sometimes connection is all you need to sell, right? They're going to be like, I really like Alex, and so because I like her, I want to buy what she's selling, right? So salesy does not mean sleazy. Paul says, can I sell exclusively on Instagram, or do I need to have a website? So also in the training, I told you that sales don't happen on Instagram, right? I mean, you can use the product tagging feature, and that's going to allow people to like click on your product from Instagram, but they're still being taken over into your website. So now you don't have to use like your own website. You could use Etsy or Shopify or like an e-commerce platform, but sales don't happen on Instagram. They happen on your website. So you do need a website, or you need some form of platform in order to transact, right? Okay, how do you know which hashtags to use? I never use the most popular ones because I know I can't compete, so I use the less known ones. So that's already a great approach. You definitely don't want to use super, super popular hashtags because, like you said, you can't really compete. A hashtag that has millions of posts associated with it is getting new content added to it like every second. So if your post is here, it's going to be way down here in like 10 seconds. So that hashtag is certainly not worth using. So for me, I've got a few guidelines, and obviously I teach hashtags and a complete hashtag research strategy inside my program, but you want to make sure that they're kind of around like the 5,000 to 500,000 mark. That's where I find the sweet spot is. But more important than that, you want to make sure that you're choosing hashtags that actually describe your business, your offering, or your target market. Okay, you don't want to use hashtags that just describe like your picture, right? Like you don't want to use hashtag beach because you were at the beach, because people who are looking for the beach on Instagram are not necessarily looking to buy your handmade candles, right? So you really need to keep that in mind. Elizabeth asks, what is manual engagement? Is that responding to people? So manual engagement is basically liking, commenting, following, sending DMs, responding to stories, reacting to people's posts, that kind of stuff. Okay. It's just interacting with people in a manner that makes you show up in their notification tab. Okay. That's the whole goal, is that if I like your post, you're going to see in your notification tab that Alex2B liked your post, and that hopefully is going to bring you over to my feed because you're curious about who I am, right? So when you're manually engaging, you want to do things that encourage people to take that step, to go over to your feed, and then hopefully go through the rest of our sales funnel by clicking the website, by clicking the link in our website and continuing on that way. How do we prevent our emails from going into the junk folder. That's my biggest issue. So junk emails is going to depend highly on which platform you're using to send. So I use ConvertKit, and I don't really have too many problems with them. They actually have a few options to help reduce that. So you can set up what's called a verified sending domain, I believe it is. And that kind of communicates with Gmail and other inboxes to say, this is not spam. This is something that Alex signed up for or Elizabeth signed up for, and it stops it from going into junk. So you want to look into your actual email sending provider and see what resources they have for you. Outside of that, you don't want to collect emails and then send a mass email through Gmail or something like that. That will for sure end up in a junk folder. You need to actually use an email marketing software in order to send mass emails properly. What are the mechanics of capturing an email address? So that's a great question. So just like when you signed up for this training today, you entered your name and email on my website. So it's just what's called like a form. It's a lead generation form. So in the Instagram Ivy League, I have multiple lessons on this, and I show you exactly how to set one up, how to create its own landing page, or how to embed it in your own website. So oftentimes you'll see if you're like reading someone's blog post and like halfway through the blog post, there's a form to sign up for something. So I show you exactly how to do that. And again, whatever email marketing software you're using, they should have some education and knowledge base on that for you. So just look into that. It's super easy. I'm planning to create a new Instagram profile offering handmade crochet toys and patterns. What would be the best initial step to gain audience and therefore make my first sales? So I would absolutely do everything that I told you today, okay? Whether you have an established Instagram account or you're starting one tomorrow, these are the steps that you need to take. You need to focus on your content creation first, obviously, because that's what people see first. So you want to kind of plan out your content, and on a new account, you kind of want to fill it up with like 3 to 6 posts, just so that when new traffic comes, they actually have something to look at. You don't want to have just one post. So I would plan out about 3 to 6 posts that cover all those things I talked about today. Education, demonstrating credibility, relating to your audience, that kind of stuff, addressing pain points, that kind of thing, right? So from there, once you have good content, then you're going to want to do the traffic generating things. You want to use hashtags. You want to post at optimal times. You want to do manual engagement so that you can bring traffic to your feed. They're going to look at those posts that you just shared, and they're hopefully going to click the link in your bio and then proceed from there. It's really that simple. And when I asked you about trading the time you spent on content creation for traffic generation, that's why this is so important, because if you focus on traffic generation, the ball is going to roll. People are going to land on your feed. They're going to click that link in your bio. They're going to go to your website, and then eventually they're going to buy. So that should be what you're always focusing on. That's the primary thing that I focus on and what I tell my students to do as well. What if you're already educating people and offering things to solve problems, but they still don't want to buy? That's, could be a few things going on here. It could be that your offer's not validated, right? Like, is this the product that they've said that they need to solve their problem, or do you just think it's solving their problem? Okay. So as long as your product is validated and you know that it's a good thing, it's probably because of the same things that I told you today. People are not ready to buy. People don't like making decisions, and it takes them a long time. They have to see your brand or your content at least 7 times before the average person decides to purchase, right? So if the education in your content is not necessarily supposed to secure the sale, it's supposed to get them to go to your website, to see your content for a second time. Then it's supposed to get them onto your email list so that you can email them and see your content for a third time. And then just like that, right? Like your caption, again, because sales don't happen on Instagram. You can't write a caption and then someone just says add to cart, right? They have to go through the process. So for you, I think it's that you need to generate them as a lead. You need to communicate with them more often, and you need to implement a conversion strategy that makes them want to buy today. Jacqueline said, the Instagram Ivy League is thorough. It's amazing. I took a break to design my website, but I will continue now. Awesome. My question is, this is a fantastic training, but what advice do you have for staying positive and not feeling overwhelmed by all that it takes to generate sales? That is an incredible question, because I will be completely honest with you. Over the last few years, even though I've had incredible success, I still sometimes feel like I'm not doing enough, or I'm not making enough sales, or I should be doing better, or I should be more like somebody else in the industry. And that's just something that I think as humans, we are always going to deal with. So I think if you're not generating any sales, that's very difficult. It's hard to keep going, but I think that, and hopefully, obviously you're already a student of the program, so definitely get back in there and start following the lessons, because everything that you need is there, okay? And you're gonna have to struggle, and you're gonna have to feel overwhelmed, and you're gonna have to feel kind of shit about yourself until you get that sale, or you get those 2 sales in one day, and then everything's going to change for you. It's incredible how you feel when you see the result that you've been looking for, right? It may not be 100 sales overnight, but just one sale can really make you feel confident and kind of give you that, what you need to keep going forward. So I think that, yeah, in general, like, you know, we all go through ups and downs. Like, business is going to be good some days and bad some days, and that's just part of it. And I think that as long as you know and love your product, and you believe that people are also going to love and, you know, appreciate it when they do get it, then that's what's going to keep you going forward. And if that changes, then you're always allowed to pivot. You are always allowed to pivot, okay? But these marketing tactics that I'm teaching you today, like, apply to anything. They apply to any online business. So yeah, if things change, they change, and you've got the tools that you need to see success. So just keep going. Okay, there was a few questions. Someone said, how many hashtags should we be using? Well, this is the discussion of the freaking year, right? How many hashtags should we be using? Instagram keeps coming out with all kinds of different answers around this topic. So it always was 30 hashtags. And for me, that still technically makes the most sense. The more hashtags you use, the more opportunities you have to be seen. But Instagram is starting to say, well, if you use too many, then you're going to confuse the algorithm. And I just don't know if you can confuse a robot, to be honest. So I have tried using less. I've tried using more. I've tried putting some in my caption. I've tried putting some in my comments. I've tried putting them all in both locations. And the results are kind of the same. At the end of the day, with hashtags, you can't like accurately test them, because even if I use the same hashtags, or even if I use 30 hashtags one day and 20 hashtags the next day, and I use the exact same photo, the test is not accurate, because I'm posting on a different day of the week. I might be posting at a different time. Different people might be seeing it. And God forbid I actually change the imagery that I'm using, which is 100% going to happen. So if this image is super eye-catching and scroll stopping, and this one isn't, then my hashtags probably aren't going to perform as well, because there's so many other variables included in that. So in terms of hashtags, definitely play around with it. Do your best. I think 30 works the best. I think putting them in your comments works the best. But recently I have tried putting 3 primary ones in my caption and the remainder in the comments, and seems to be working. So hashtags are one of those things that, like, love or hate. Okay. Someone said, this is turning into how to sell through email and not how to sell using Instagram. I have everything in place, but my Instagram reach and website clicks are just not there. So I'm glad you realized that, because that is the case. You cannot sell on Instagram. We don't sell on Instagram. There's no add to cart button on Instagram, okay? You need people to go to your website to buy. And the best way to get people back to your website, because they have to come multiple times, because 96% of them are not going to buy on that first visit, you need email to get them there. That's it, okay? I'm not trying to hide that fact. I'm trying to tell you straight up that you need something outside of Instagram. Instagram is the funnel. Remember that picture? Instagram's at the top of your marketing funnel. Then they're going to come in through your content. They're going to make it to your website. You're going to get them on your email list, and then you're going to make a sale. Okay? So you need an email list. And that's also why I talked about the objection. I always get the objection. People don't want to start an email list because it just, I don't know why, it just sounds too complicated or too salesy or whatever it may be. But like I said, we are in 2022 here and everybody's moving online and the strategies online are moving faster than ever. And if you're just, hoping that your post is going to sell for you, I'm sorry, but you're just not going to see the sales that you want. Okay. You need the full strategy. You need the full marketing funnel. If you have a business, you are now a marketer. Okay. You need to see yourself as a marketer. You need to be proud of that and you need to be embracing it because that's how you are going to generate sales. So you definitely need an email list. I feel like this program is too beginner for me. I have so much in place already. I don't need a business redo. I need to figure out how to make my Instagram post generate more traffic and leads. The program certainly goes from beginner to advanced. I think it's really important to start at the foundational phases and to make sure that your Instagram is set up, because a lot of the time I have people come to me all the time that say, oh yeah, I know everything about Instagram. And then I look at their feed and it's like, well, you're not doing this, you're not doing that, you're not doing these basic things. So I do like for people to be open-minded when they join my program, because even though you may have heard something before or you think that that might not actually be the case. Knowing and doing are two entirely different things. So the course does start with beginner concepts, but it transitions into advanced concepts that you can use for the entirety of your online career, okay? That's where the main value of this program is that you're not just learning about Instagram, you're actually learning real marketing strategies that can be used outside of Instagram, okay? If you have an audience on YouTube, it can be used with that. If you're on LinkedIn, it can be used with that. If you sell candles, it can be used for that. And then if you, decide you want to be an author, it can be used for that, okay? These are actual skill sets that you can use forever. And they're the skill sets that I've been using since 2014 to grow my business, right? Instagram's been this item that's sort of stayed with me and it helps funnel in my customers. But behind that is strategy and marketing tactics that you need to actually turn your Instagram into money. So if you do have questions about the course though, if you do actually feel like it's too beginner for you or won't apply, please email us at hello@alextubi.com and we can just ask you a few more questions and make sure that it is the right program for you. I am always happy to tell people, you know what, I think you're good, or I don't think this is going to apply to your business or whatever. I'm not afraid of turning down a sale. I definitely want the right people to be in the program and for you to get the most out of it as possible. So if you have any questions, obviously you can enter them now or you can email us so that we can kind of look into it for you. Someone said, I feel like investing in Instagram training now may be too late. And so that kind of goes in with the same answers I've just given. I think that you're slightly right. Instagram has changed a lot, and that's why this program, I actually updated the program earlier this year, and I changed it from just an Instagram program to this Instagram sales strategy, okay? So again, there is Instagram training. It is the Instagram Ivy League, but you're learning marketing tactics to turn that following, and it's, again, true to any social following. You can use these tactics to turn them into customers because, yeah, Instagram's changed. Like I said earlier in the training, engagement's not what it used to be. The platform's not what it used to be. You used to be able to get a lot more clicks and traffic and engagement easier. That doesn't mean that you can't make money off Instagram. I'm still doing it every single day. A lot of you people are here because of Instagram. Okay, so even though the platform's changing, it may not be as fun, it doesn't seem as profitable as it used to be, it absolutely is, as long as you're treating it in the correct manner, right? As long as you're thinking about that funnel, Instagram's at the top. Instagram's not down here. Instagram's not just before sales. It's multiple steps before sales. And someone else said, I hate to be a negative Nancy, but I'm convinced Instagram is just starting to die. TikTok is where it's at nowadays. And that may be true. Definitely Reels, TikTok, there's new platforms. Even I'm looking at LinkedIn these days. I've got a YouTube channel. I'm diversifying because that's important. But I do still think that Instagram is extremely powerful at finding people. And like the way that you communicate and connect with people on Instagram is entirely different from other platforms, right? Like on TikTok, people might watch your videos, but like there's no conversation happening, there's no DMing, there's no like personal relationship building, which I have found really helps with sales. When people know, like, and trust you, they're more likely to buy from you. So yeah, I would diversify, but certainly Instagram is still where it's at. For people getting started with online marketing, how do you suggest allocating time between social media platforms like Instagram versus search engines like Pinterest and YouTube? Well, it's a great question. And as you learned through the training, traffic is so incredibly important. So I would absolutely have Pinterest. I would absolutely have SEO on your website. And if you want to use YouTube, definitely go ahead and use that. Whatever methods you can use to get traffic to your website, definitely do that, because as you learn, you mathematically need more traffic in order to generate more sales. So whatever you can do to increase that, absolutely do that. But I guess what you asked is, how do you allocate time between them? It's certainly something that I struggle with all the time, right? Like this idea of like posting every single day on Instagram takes away your ability to actually set up those traffic generating things, right? So I would reduce your posting on social media, make it consistent, whatever you do, whether it's once a week, twice a week, whatever it is that you decide, it needs to be consistent, but reduce it from once every day. And that's going to free up a lot of time for you to allocate to traffic generating processes. So that's how I would do that. Okay, so those are the main questions that Hannah sent over to me, but let me go ahead and check out the chat. Okay, I'm just going to check in with Hannah, make sure there's nothing else. And if there's nothing else, oh, someone asked, do you have to download the workbooks? I don't have a lot of space on my computer. The workbooks should appear in a browser. I'm assuming you're talking about inside of the actual course, or the bonuses that I'm going to send you a little bit later today. When you click on them, they should open in your web browser, so you don't actually have to download them and take up a bunch of space, so that should be fine. If I sign up, will you help me come up with a lead magnet that will actually get people interested to sign up for my newsletter? That is what I struggle with. Yes, absolutely. We're going to help you with that. So obviously there's a lesson about this, and I kind of get you thinking about what types of lead magnets would work for your niche. Obviously every niche is different, so you have to keep that in mind, but for sure we can help you. And that's the great part about the program, and the great part about the accountability forms. So when you get to that section, phase 3 of the Instagram Ivy League, and you're like, I don't know what lead magnet to do, or I need help with this, you can just submit a question through the accountability form, and we're going to get in contact with you and help you solve that problem. Of course, you can also email us. And if you want some outside perspective, you can also post in the Facebook group, and everybody there will kind of give you their feedback on your lead magnet. But one of the testimonials I shared with you earlier was Hillary, and she's had great success, and she literally just offers a 10% discount code. So it depends what your niche is, but I think a lot of people get scared about lead magnets because they're like, I don't know what to do. Like, how am I going to make an ebook? Like, how am I going to make this like training, right? Like what I'm offering today is huge. You do not need to do an hour long or an hour and a half long training. You could literally do a checklist, like a single page checklist. You could do a discount code. You could do like a guide for something. You could do a wallpaper for your phone, a chapter from a book. Like, again, it depends on your niche. So for sure, email us, and you can email us now at hello@alextube.com, and we'll like chat with you about that, but we will absolutely help you inside of the program as well. Okay, I see a question. Do we get one-on-one with you, like a Skype call? That would be so useful. So yes, this time around I am offering coaching calls. So the course is $397, but if you want to upgrade to the VIP program, you're going to get 3 live 1-hour coaching calls with me. So they're going to be like this, but more so me asking you, what are you guys struggling with? What do you need to know? And I'm going to answer all of your questions and come prepared with some things that you should be doing at that time as we progress through the program. So they're going to be about, I think we're saying 3 weeks apart, so that you have time to work on the program, gather your answers, run into some problems, and then show up on the live coaching call, and then I'm going to help you. So if you want the coaching calls, you are going to have to upgrade to that. On the checkout, you'll see all the details about that. And that offer is only valid until November 29th. So definitely get enrolled now if you want to do the coaching calls. Megan, I see you in the chat. Megan is asking me, but have I named my hens? So if you don't know, last year we moved to an acreage. We have 30 acres and we just got our first chickens. So we have 10 laying hens and 1 rooster, and on the first day they produced 2 eggs, so I'm very excited. But no, they don't have names yet. I think after this training I'm going to go out there and spend some time with them and maybe come up with some names. Okay, what else do I see here? And thank you guys so much for still being here. I'm surprised. So keep asking your questions. I'll hang out. As long as the stream's working, the audio's working, we can hang out. Someone asked, do you get lifetime access? Yes, you get lifetime access. So lifetime access means that when you enroll today, you are going to get access to everything for life. Now, people obviously are like, well, you know, when you're 80, is this course still going to be around? Probably not. So if at any point something happened to the course, which again, I'm not planning for this to happen anytime soon, but if for any reason the course changed or had to be shut down or whatever, you would have the opportunity to download all of the materials and videos and keep them for yourself for life. Okay, so when I say lifetime, it actually means lifetime. And someone asked, is there a calendar to keep you on track? Yes, there absolutely is a calendar to keep you on track. It's called our completion calendar, and it actually shows you which exact lessons you should be completing by which week, as well as which items that you should be doing. So you should be filling out this workbook. You should be submitting your checklist. You should be submitting your action items. You should be, changing your bio, whatever it is. And it's broken down by weeks. And the course is basically broken down to generously give you enough time to complete it in 4 months. Okay. So if you're starting at 0, in 4 months from now, you could have done your first urgency offer. But I honestly think that you can do it a lot faster. We just try to be generous with the timeline so that people don't get a little overwhelmed or scared. Okay, someone asked, what about features that come up later? Do you get upgraded? So it depends. Basically, the way that the program is set up now, there's going to be small changes about Instagram. They might release a new sticker in Instagram stories. And for me, unless it's really, really important, that's not going to change the structure of the course, okay? So I'm not necessarily going to update the program every time there's a new marker in Instagram stories. However, if something happens that's okay, this is a game changer, you need to use this feature to, increase your traffic and get more people over to your website and whatnot, then that's going to be added to the program, okay? If the program is to change substantially, last year, I changed it from just Instagram to now this version of it, and it changed really substantially. So at that point, usually we ask for a small upgrade fee, but it totally depends. If it's just a small upgrade, you're for sure going to get it. If it's an overhaul, a massive overhaul, then you might need to pay to upgrade, but we will obviously always keep you in the loop about that. And any students that are already students always get preferential treatment from me. And yeah, so we take care of you, so don't worry about that. So she's saying not small changes, but extras one-on-one. So you're not current students won't get upgraded to the one-on-one VIP without purchasing that, obviously, because that's an entirely different product. It's an entirely different, amount of my time. So that would be an upgrade. And if you are a current student, I actually will be sending out an email about the one-on-ones if anyone would like that. So keep an eye out on that. Okay, what else is happening here? Someone asked, do we have to buy now? Well, my friend, you do not have to do anything you don't want to do. but the doors are open today. So if you would like to join the Instagram Ivy League, you can do that today. The doors are going to be open until November 29th at 11:59 p.m. PST. Okay, so that's Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, Cyber Monday, all the things. But after that, the doors are going to close. And typically once I close the doors, the sale price will probably increase when they open. And oftentimes you lose the ability to do the upgrade, right? Like this is the first time I'm offering the one-on-one coaching calls. So next time I may not include that. So if you like what you see now, then now is the time to enroll. Someone says, I'm ready to quit Instagram, to be honest, and my fiance is constantly pissed off at me for the time that I waste there. Well, maybe you should ask your fiance to enroll you in the Instagram Ivy League and your time will be better spent. Okay. Okay, I'm just trying to scroll back through everything here. I think Hannah got most of it. So I'm just going to chat with her quick. Okay. So I think we're good here. I'm just going to do one last scroll. If anyone else has a question, please pop it in now so I can answer it before I go. Oh, someone said, is the lifetime access true for folks who transitioned from the previous program? I might be mistaken, but I thought the email specified access for 1 year. So last year when we updated the Instagram Ivy League 2.0, we trialed doing a 12-month access period, but then people were like, again, just like people aren't ready to buy and people have hard times making decisions, people also don't like being constricted by timelines. So the reason why we wanted to do a 12-month access was so that people would feel more encouraged to complete the program and not just sit on it, because people buy courses all the time and they just like leave it in their inbox and they never use it again, right? So we thought that maybe that would be a good idea, but then we got a lot of hesitation, so we removed that. Everyone has lifetime access. If you bought the course last year, you have lifetime access. And if you bought the course last year, you should be upgraded to our new version, but if for some reason you aren't, just send us an email at hello@alextv.com and we'll get you upgraded to the most recent version and you will have that for life. Okay, someone said, this is really great stuff, Alex. I just bought the course. Thanks for the Black Friday deal. You are welcome. Yay, I'm so excited to see who's joining us. I reduced all the tabs and stuff on my computer so I could stay focused. So I can't see who's buying, but thank you so much to everyone who is. I really appreciate it. Someone's saying, but how do you get them to click? How do you get people to click the link on your bio? You have to give them a reason. Here's the one thing that I see all the time that I freaking hate. People will write this amazing caption and then just say link in bio. We're not even using full grammatical sentences anymore. Don't just say link in bio. Say click the link in my bio to learn how to generate consistent sales on Instagram, or to learn why you should buy hens for your acreage, or whatever it is. You need to speak like a real person, speak grammatically and in full sentences, and tell people why to click. You have to entice them. Why should they click? If you just tell me to click, then that's not enough, right? Again, people have a really, 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 really hard time making decisions. So you need to make it worth it for them. So that's why really knowing who your target market is super, super critical, because once you know that person, you can figure out what to say that's going to trigger them, right? If I don't know, if I'm just trying to sell to everyone and I say, hey, if you want to start your farm, click this link, and nobody that has a farm that's following me, then no one's going to click it. So I need to know that my audience is people who want to start a farm or whatever. So getting people to click is finessed art. And again, I'm going to send you the caption writing guide shortly after we get done here. So keep an eye out on that, because that's going to give you some insight on that as well. Pinterest drives traffic for me too, but no sales. So it doesn't matter which social platform you're using. Once you get that traffic, like you have to capture it. That's why you need an email list, because like you should see the bounce rate on my website. I get tons of views, but people will leave in like less than a minute in a lot of cases. So you have 1 minute to capture that person to hopefully bring them back later. Because like I said, like the website to purchase conversion is about 2%, and that's if they're landing on the actual like purchase page. So if you're getting a ton of traffic, that's great, but only 2% of it is organically going to convert. And that's, that's standard average, but yours could be more or less. So that's not enough, right? So when we actually offer them something like, hey, why don't you take 10% off? Or why don't you download this thing? Or why don't you come to this free training? And I collect your email address, then I have that. It's like this piece of gold that I can use whenever I need to supplement my income, or I want to get you back to the website, or whatever I want to do. I can do it with the email list. It's so powerful. And like all of you are here because I sent you an email. So like you just got to like look inside, like it works. How many things have you signed up for? How many places have you gone because you got a link in your email? How many things have you bought because you got a link in your email? It works. So if you're getting a lot of traffic from Pinterest, then definitely install a lead generation system so that you can take further advantage of that. Someone asked, how often does the Ivy League open? I'd like to take it after the holidays when I have more free time. So it's intermittent right now. So obviously it's Black Friday. We decided to open for that. Probably in the new year it will open again, but that's why the lifetime access is great, because you can buy now at the reduced price, and then you can just go ahead and get started whenever you want. So it's self-paced, so you don't have to do anything by a certain date. So if you want to enroll, but you don't have time until after Christmas or whatever, you can still do that by enrolling now and starting when you're ready. Okay. Do you have English subtitles for course videos? Volume doesn't always work. So we currently use Vimeo, and for some reason they don't allow us to upload subtitles. So we are obviously endeavoring to be the most accessible program. So that's something that we're hoping will come in 2022. So yeah, right now they don't have closed captioning, which I feel really shit about, but we are hoping to have that soon. So I do apologize for that. I'm also, and you guys can let me know if this would be interesting, have thought about having the program translated into a few other different languages so we can appeal to a larger market. So because I know that obviously not everyone speaks English, and the program will work for so many people. So anyway, that's something that we might do next year. When do we get the 2 bonuses for being live? Well, since I'm still live, I can't finish the bonuses. So it should come later today. It won't be instantaneously, but by the end of the day, you should have them. How do we contact you? I did have Ivy League 2.0. Do I have access to this? Yes, you have access to the program. Just email us at hello@alextube.com if you can't figure out your login. Are the documents, calendars, workbooks sold separately? No, they are not sold separately. They're not, actually. We haven't really thought about that, but going forward, like I understand that some people might be like, hey, I'm good at Instagram. I just want to know your urgency offer formula. So maybe one day we'll sell that as its own separate thing. That could be cool. So currently we're not, but if you have any suggestions, if there's something that you're looking for, if you have a question, do email us, because like we love the feedback and we will, work off of it. So if that's what you want, then maybe we can do it. Hey Alex, I'm in the Ivy League, but I would love the one-on-ones. Yeah, okay, cool. So I'm gonna send an email probably later today or tomorrow morning to my current students to talk about the coaching calls and give you an opportunity to join those. So just sit tight for that. Thank you, Alex. Inspired. I have your past courses and in the Instagram Ivy League. I'm diving back in after changing my business offerings and message. I will look out for the email on the coaching call. That sounds super helpful. Yay. Yeah, I think that I'm bad at this too. I'll buy a course and then I'll like start the first module and then I just like get distracted and I don't come back to it for a long time. And I'm certain that has happened with the Instagram Ivy League. But the great thing is you get it forever. And I feel that it's very practical and that it works long term. Like that's something that I pride myself on. I'm not in there being like, hey, you know what's working today? This one song on Reels, like do it now. Like I'm not going to teach you that because that's going to expire. So I'm teaching you real tactics and strategies that will work long term, and that like this person who said that she changed her business offerings and now I'm going to go back to the course. That's perfect, and that's exactly what I want. I want that no matter how your business changes, this program is still going to apply. Someone said, how big is your team? You seem to run things really well. Well, thank you for saying that, because my team has ebbed and flowed, let me tell you. I have Hannah, who's my full-time assistant. She's amazing, incredible. Thank you. She's also in the UK. It's probably super late right now, but she is here with us. So she's my one full-time employee. And then we have a few other contractors, but honestly, my team growth experience has been so up and down. Like we'll hire someone and all seems great, and then the next month they're like, I'm pregnant, I gotta go. Or we'll hire someone who seems great and then they're not actually great. Like it's been a really long journey. And it's funny, like I've always been a solopreneur. I've done all of this stuff by myself. So now having to be like a boss and like manage other people is like incredibly difficult and new. So I'm glad you think things run well. That might be a lot of my like perfectionism speaking here, but that's awesome. I hope to have a much larger team over the next year. We just need to find the right people. So if anyone on here is looking for a job and you think that you have some value that you can provide myself and our students and our community, then send us an email because we're looking for go-getters. Oh, sorry. Hi, Alex. We asked a few times, but it seems like the questions were missed. Do hashtags not work on Reels? Our Reels don't show up on hashtags. Reels has like its own entirely different algorithm. So we know hashtags work on posts. Do we know if they work on Reels? They're not the same algorithm. So I certainly have seen one of the main things is that you want to do less hashtags on Reels. Like you don't want to use 30. So I would do like 3 to 5. And whether or not you rank, I'm not sure, because the last time I checked, Reels aren't chronological. Oh God, let's not start that conversation where everything used to be chronological and that was way better. But when you look at Reels in the search explore section of your phone, they're not chronological. So when you use hashtags, I don't think that they're going to appear in the position that you uploaded them, which means that they might be working, but other videos are outranking you for different reasons, and that's why you're not seeing it. Someone said, are you hiring? Yes, we're always hiring. So please email us if you have a skill set. Can I just pay you to look at my Instagram and tell me what I'm doing wrong? I already have a lead generation email list. Yes, actually you can. I'm drawing a blank on, we usually have an Instagram audit upsell. After you purchase the course, you can buy an audit. And I don't know if we did that this time around because of the coaching calls, but we do sell an Instagram audit. So if you would like me to personally audit your Instagram and give you some ideas, advice, and direction, then definitely email us and we can go ahead and send you the link for that. Someone says, do you have a refund policy? I know I probably won't need it, but if I don't complete the course before the deadline, can I still request a refund once I finish the program if things didn't work for me? I know I probably won't need it, but just in case. I totally understand. You know, these are what refunds policies are for, just in case. So the refund policy is 30 days. And what's important about the refund policy and what you'll notice in the digital marketing world is that we ask that you implement some of the course content, okay? If you just buy it and you look at all the videos and you're like, yeah, it's not for me, and you want a refund, that's not really fair to my intellectual property and to our business. So we don't give refunds if you don't do the coursework. Now, you don't need to do 100% of the coursework. There's just a few little documents and practices that we want you to try and implement before you determine that it's not for you. Okay? Because I mentioned this earlier, like a lot of people will be like, well, I know about Instagram, so your course, maybe didn't show me anything new about Instagram. And it's like, well, if whether you know is one thing, but if you implemented the methods is another thing. So I don't know if that was the best example, but yes, there is a refund policy. if it didn't work for you, we will happily give you your money back, no questions asked, okay? So all we ask before those no questions is that you at least try. Someone said, what about just the one-on-one with you and not the full course? Is that, I guess you're asking, is that an option to purchase? It's not at this time, because on those calls, we will be talking about the course content and sort of, we'll be talking about whatever you guys have questions about, whether that's the course content or outside of that, but it will kind of be based around the course content. So we don't really want you to be in there if you don't know what we're talking about, if you don't have access to those trainings that I may recommend. Thank you for your answer. I will log off now. It's 5 a.m. here. Oh my God. Thank you so much for being here so early in the day. I really, really appreciate it. Okay. Hannah just put a link in the chat there for the custom Instagram audit if anyone's interested in that. Okay. I have the website and the lead magnet and the bi-weekly newsletter. I honestly just need help with IG specifically. How do I reach more people and get them to click? Awesome. Well, you might be a good candidate for the Instagram Ivy League. I think also like a bi-weekly newsletter is great, but that's not an actual like email marketing plan, right? I see this all the time. People are like, yeah, sign up for my newsletter, which one is not a lead magnet. Okay. People don't want to just sign up for a newsletter without knowing what that means. And if your newsletter is just like, hey, here's a roundup of what's going on, that's great. And people love that. But you also need like marketing emails. You need those emails that communicate why your product is great. You need to educate them. You need to relate to them. You need to show off your credibility and things like that. So even though you feel like you're good there, I think that you might learn some things from the course. So if you need help with Instagram and you are open to learning a bit more about email marketing, then enrolling would be a great option for you. Otherwise, I have a ton of free content on YouTube, on Instagram, on my website. Like there's a ton of free content that I've put out. So if you just need help with a few little Instagram specific things, then I'm sure you can find it. And if you need help finding a resource, again, you can email us and we will hook you up. Okay. I think we've come to the end, as far as I can tell. I'm sure I've missed one or two questions and I do apologize for that. If that's the case and you didn't get your question answered, please email us at hello@alextubi.com and we will be happy to help you. So I think this is it. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming. I really appreciate it. This live was super fun. Lives are one of those things where you start off all nervous and then you end up all excited. So I feel good. I hope you guys feel good. I hope you learned something new. Like that's the main thing. Like you don't have to enroll in the program if it's not right for you. I hope that what I gave you today gives you some ideas, gets those cogs turning in your brain about Instagram and how to use it properly. Like Instagram, remember, is at the top of your funnel. Sales are way down here. Okay. So thank you so much. And I will talk to you guys later. I got to figure out how to end this thing though. So, yeah, thank you so much, everyone. Love you the most. And